Good morning and welcome to Coffee with a Kick. I'm Xander. He's Keegan. And it is Champions League review day. A lot of things got figured out. Some things did not. This Champions League midweek action. A lot of goals. Yeah. As I said in the last episode, an inequitable share of goals, I would say, across the matches. Because some of them were quite dull, and we will not be covering much. But why don't we go ahead and just hop right into it with, starting with Group E, Lazio and Celtic, and then Feyenoord and Atletico Madrid. This Lazio-Celtic one, it was not a very good match. Celtic, they were trying, but I don't think that they challenged very much, losing 2-0 to Lazio. Let's see, we both got the Lazio Celtic one right because it was going to be obvious. You got the Feyenoord Atletico Madrid one. I thought that Feyenoord would try to do better.
Did I get that exactly correct?
No, you had it. Did you? Hold on. No, you had it as 2-1 Atletico, not 3-1.
So close. It's because of the own goals. I mean, Feyenoord, you can't lose on 2 own goals.
That's
really
tough.
The difference.
Yeah, it was really tough for Feyenoord. I mean, in the end, it did them in. I mean, about now, Atletico and Lazio are through. Not decided who's going to be top of the table, so that's something to look out for. But they are both now for sure through with Feyenoord with this defeat falling out of contention. They are going to go to Europa, so cool for them, I guess. But yeah, it settled up the group nicely.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if Celtic can actually, finish well. Because I thought they played well in this game. Like, they did not play bad. It just felt like Burnley. We talk about Burnley all the time. It was just like, we have possession, we're taking the ball, but we don't know what to do with it once we actually have it. So, ultimately, Immobile there in the 82nd, 85th just did what he does. He scored a brace, and they walked off with the win.
And, good for Lazio. We'll go down to Group F now. I actually got the PSG Newcastle one exactly right. Now, did I think it would take with PSG Newcastle and Milan, AC Milan and Dortmund? Did I think it would take a very debatable VAR handball check in stoppage time for PSG to get their goal? I did not think it would take that. Actually, I did. I remember now. I said that PSG was going to get a late goal after breaking down Newcastle's defense. Now, they didn't quite break it down, I would say. But it did end up going 1-1 as I had expected. And neither of us thought that Dortmund would finish it out. They are on a roll here in Champions League, winning 3 straight in the group of death, which no one else had matched across the group.
Yeah, this one... I was just reading an article about how, because I noticed 71st minute, there was also a shout for a handball in this game, and VAR didn't intervene. And then in the 98th minute, they intervene. And I don't know, Newcastle should feel gypped. I don't even know if it's debatable. It didn't feel like a clear and obvious error. His arm was up, but it was still like near his body. It wasn't like it wasn't on purpose. I didn't like the call.
And you compare it to the calls in the next day, and Wednesday, it was like it was 2 totally different officiating directives across the 2 days, because there were plenty of inadvertent handballs, and some of them, like, objectively, yes, it was a handball. I know, man, you got away with one in the end.
So the guy that was on the VAR was pulled from a match on Wednesday. UEFA pulled him. He was supposed to officiate the Sociedad game, and UEFA pulled him. They didn't say his decision was wrong, but basically pulling him, they figured that you shouldn't have given it. It was a mistake, and it had huge implications. Because Newcastle would have won with 3 points, probably on the positive end of going through. But now, I don't know. still up for grabs.
Yeah, it's totally up for grabs here on the last day for second place probably. Let's see what other matchups there on the next match day for this group. It'll be wrong. There we are. PSG and Dortmund. So essentially a fight for first. Dortmund will be perfectly fine getting a draw out of that. But if they're able to force that draw, that leaves PSG on 8 points, and either Newcastle or Milan could sneak in ahead of them.
Dortmund, I don't know if they're going to show up. They may just decide, like, hey, we made it through. What's the point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's when you throw out that defensive crew and just like try not to lose. It's a great way to lose, trying not to lose. But it's you definitely see it. And PSG has to win. Well, they don't have to win, but it'd make it way more simple if they were to win. So that'll be an exciting concurrent match day there at the end. And then but then for the Dortmund and AC Milan match, it was where's my note? There it is. Okay. It was a little bit back and forth. Milan came back, but then Dortmund pulled away there in the second half. They figured it out apparently.
Yeah, Dortmund they've been the shock in this group because I don't believe I have them going through, and I
got it right.
I wanted them to, but I just didn't see them beating the other giants. But especially after the first match week, I'm pretty sure they lost the first match week. So. Yeah,
lost the first
one. It
didn't
feel like
PSG.
they had the stuff, and here they are, already in. They're automatically in. They've advanced.
Let's see. I want to check one thing here on the previous match day. So I think that. Is that right? Hold on. Whatever. I'm trying to figure out who would be able to go through. It could still go through. Yeah, neither of us had Dortmund or Newcastle going through. We both had PSG and AC Milan coming out of this in alternating first and second. Anyway, that's enough of that. Okay, and then down to that to the City group. To the City group, locked it up. I mean, this match here. Listen, it was a good match for City. It was gutsy, as we talked about in yesterday's episode, last night's episode. Going down early, clawing your way back, ending up with a great second half. It was an impressive win for City, and now they can truly just coast in this last one. I doubt you'll see most of their starters there in the last match against who do they got? Did they have Fairness Red, yeah, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they have Red Stars. They're at Red Stars, yeah. So they probably will not play many. They will not be having a first team on the pitch for that truly meaningless match against Red Star Belgrade.
Yeah, I mean, I say it's meaningless, and you say it's meaningless, but then Pep Guardiola is probably going to field a full 11 because we got to keep the momentum. I don't know, but. Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, down 2-0 at half, we are not typically the side that when down 2-0, we claw ourselves back. Unless there's a title on the line.
Yeah.
But I appreciated the commitment to actually go out and try to get a win. And again, it didn't really matter. Even if Leipzig would have won, we'd still be first on goal difference. We'd still go to Red Stars. We'd still beat them. So the fact that we're playing with this much vigor in games that don't really matter gives me hope that we're figuring it out. We're figuring out that we know how to win games. We just got to get there earlier.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good one. Both Leipzig goals were fine. I thought a little bit better of defense could have been played, but 3-2, not a bad result.
Not a bad result. And then Young Boys beats Fairness Fed, 2-0. I mean, I did not tune into that one very much because it helps Young Boys get into the Europa League.
Europa League.
Yeah. They've basically secured that because now in order to get into the Europa League, Stuttgart has to beat City, which doesn't seem likely, and they have to have Leipzig lose to Young Boys, which, you could, for the same reason that City and Sverige is probably going to be not a very good match because it's all second teamers. Same principle applies to Leipzig and Young Boys. Only it's the second stringers for Leipzig and not for City. So, a little bit of quality difference there. But good on Young Boys coming through and going up 2-0 and taking home. I mean, second half, nothing happened really. It's what it comes down to. So if you're gonna check it, just check out the first half and then you'll be good to go on that.
Yeah.
And then wait, hold on. And for that, we both got the City match correct. Oh, actually, you thought that Leipzig would win. So I got that one right.
I thought they'd win
you got that one wrong, and we both thought that they would draw, just in very different manners between the two. But Young Boys gets the win, so good for them. And then to Group H to finish off the Tuesday action. Where'd I go? There we go. Barcelona hosted FC Porto. Well, hosted, quote unquote, hosted FC Porto. Mm-hmm. And then Shakhtar Donetsk hosted, quote unquote, Antwerp. For this, we both got the Antwerp one correct because Antwerp can't win or get any points. That's a rule that they've set for this year. It's an interesting rule on their part, but they're sticking to it. And we thought that Barcelona and FC Porto would draw, and that didn't happen. Barcelona secured first secured first in the group by going a full 12 and doubling down on their victories over FC Porto. But it does leave Shakhtar and FC Porto on even terms here going into the last match.
Yeah.
So that, and do they hold on. And then they are, let me hop down there.
They're playing each other.
And they're playing each other. Wow. Yep. So that is a win-in scenario. FC Porto's up on goal difference right now. So, essentially Shakhtar has to win. FC Porto can draw, is what it comes down to. So that'll be exciting, and it is at Porto. So definitely a hostile environment for Shakhtar Donetsk going in there. What's your gauge on how these matches went?
The Shakhtar one, I didn't tune in live, but watched the highlights. Kind of a snoozer. Early 30th-ish minute red card, and Shakhtar had already scored before that. So it seemed as though it was just kind of once they got the goal in the 12th minute. Red card was a 90+7.
Yeah, it was a frustration red card more than anything.
But once they got the 12th minute goal, it just kind of felt like they were cool with.
Just coasting.
Antwerp can't win, so we're just gonna sit. The Barcelona one, I mean, they did have to put up a fight, but honestly, with the Barcelona lineup, when you look down at the names, they should not be playing Porto 2-1. It should probably be 5-1.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they decide to play them close. But Porto had some bursts, but honestly, it never felt like they were going to win.
No, after Barcelona came back, they felt pretty in control of it. I felt
it seemed like the Porto goal, Barcelona decided, we actually might lose, so we got to actually play. And 2 minutes later, they equalized.
They were essentially saying, hey, none of us want to play in the next match, so let's try to win this one, okay?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a match day off later here in December.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes for a very interesting last match day for second place there in Group H. Because FC Porto, Barcelona has a tiebreaker, so they are solo first. Totally in first. All right, and then to the top of the alphabet, Group A, with Bayern, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray Man U. Boy, this Galatasaray Man U, crazy match. This one I did catch live, so I picked the right early match to watch. Let me get down where there we are. Oh, next day, there we are. Yeah, it was, a back and forth match. They were going the whole 90 minutes. I mean, it was an exhausting match to watch even. But Galatasaray kept coming back in it. I mean, they were down 2-0 after 18 minutes with some great strikes by Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho. Garnacho carrying through from his great strike in the last match day. Once again, if you haven't seen that, I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, check it out again. Then 29th minute, Ziyech. Both of the goals that the Ziyech one and then the Ataturklu one both of those were the goalkeeper for Man U. I mean, bungling is to put it nicely there for Onana. It was bad stuff. He got beat. You can't get beat as a goalkeeper. You can't get beat on your half of the goal on a free kick. You set up the wall to not worry about that, to give yourself a moment to react. You're supposed to be covering your side of the goal. And he just got beat. He just got beat on a pretty straightforward, the guys dipped out of the way. They broke in half, and so it did delay when Onana could see it, but it wasn't that hard of a save. It would have been a tough save, but not super hard.
Yeah, I mean, this one, it felt like it was going to be the Copenhagen game. Copenhagen clawed back and won 4-3 last time. I felt like Galatasaray was about to do it there.
It was close.
Man United held on for the draw. And I really think this was the match they needed to win.
Yeah.
Because they have Bayern next, and I don't see them beating Bayern to then advance. It's really going to be Galatasaray Copenhagen deciding the final spot. So
it would be. Yeah, Man U needs some help to get through, and I don't think they're going to get it. I think that either Copenhagen or Galatasaray win. I would lean Galatasaray over Copenhagen, but I believe it is at Copenhagen. So it is at Copenhagen. So, that was probably a toss-up. I could see it going either way. Copenhagen, and I don't think United, even though United have Bayern at Old Trafford, I don't think that makes a difference. I don't think that really makes a difference here. I think that now that Bayern Copenhagen match, geez Louise, so annoying. Like, Bayern, why can't you guys score one? This was the what was it? I think it was the first match in 18 home matches that Bayern Munich did not score.
Wow.
Yeah, and Copenhagen did it. Oh, in the Champions League. In the Champions League, they'd scored at least once in each of their last 18 home matches, and Copenhagen somehow kept them goalless. How does that happen? And as a result, we both got both of these wrong. I'll tell you. Wednesday was not kind to us. It was bad. It was very bad. You will hear a lot of, we both got that wrong. Yeah, because we both thought that Bayern would take care of it and Galatasaray would take care of it. Neither of them did. But very exciting early match there for Galatasaray and Man U. Group B, we had Sevilla and PSV, and we had Arsenal and Lens. You actually got the Arsenal one correct. Only you underestimated. Well, I don't know if you underestimated Arsenal or overestimated Lens, because, boy,
might have been an overestimation.
I think it was an overestimation probably of Lens, because they almost like they didn't even care. It was weird. It was. I think Arsenal had 4 goals in the span of 18 minutes, something like a minuscule amount of time. Come on, load. Yes, 13, 21, 23, 27. In the span of 14 minutes, they gave up 4 goals. And obviously at that point, you just coast if you're Arsenal. You get one more before the half ends, and then you get a penalty in the 86th. But it was embarrassing for Lens, who had started off pretty well in the group stage. Draw, win, draw. I mean, they were in the driver's seat in second going into the back half of this, and they've just truly fallen apart. And then for the
I have nothing to say about the Arsenal game. 6-0, That's all I need to know. Arsenal dominated the first half, second half, cruised. Now the PSV Sevilla game. PSV coming out of seemingly nowhere after the Ocampos red card. I felt like before that they were like trying to figure it out, but they didn't quite get it. 66-minute red card, 68th minute goal. And the own goal, I think, for Sevilla in the 81st, you could tell the morale really dipped.
Yeah.
The own goal went in, and you just saw the body language. I felt like PSV had all the momentum. They ended up getting it 90+2 with Pepe. So,
with another red card by Sevilla as well, going down to another frustration red card.
It felt like another, frustration into match.
Yeah, and it was early until the 66th minute. It was shaping up to be a very interesting last match day there for Group B, because we would have had Sevilla on 5, Linz on 5, and PSV on 5. We had 3 teams on 5. Instead, it's over. Arsenal's on 12, PSV's on 8. It's already set. Like, we can't even get first or second to change there. Yeah. And then Linz and Sevilla are fighting for Europa League is all they've got left to hope for. And I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think they are facing each other, so it'll be up to them, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just.
You did get that one right, though.
That a USA man got the final goal, the clincher.
Yeah, the pick.
So that was cool to see, because honestly, he's been pretty average at PSV so far.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's a confidence booster. Will Berhalter pick him? Who knows? But he's a Champions League match day winner,
and he'll be going through to the knockouts. So maybe he can pull some.
Maybe it's not over yet.
Well, for PSV, I mean, PSV is secured now. They're on 8 points with the tiebreaker.
No, do they have the tiebreaker? All right.
Yeah, they got the tiebreaker over Lons because they beat them last match day. So it's done and dusted. Done and dusted for Linz, unfortunately. Although they lost 6-0, so they shouldn't go through anyway. Group C action: Real Madrid and Napoli, another crazy game, and then Braga and Union Berlin. Man, come on, like Union Berlin. I'm sorry, but what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? You're up 1-0, and they get you're up 1-0. They get a red card. They are 10 men for 60 minutes for a full hour, and you give up a goal. I mean, I had you. We were both on your side, Union. We were both Union. We were both on your side. Now you made us miss both of these. Keeps Braga in it. They are still masters of their own destiny, I believe, because they play Napoli. So theoretically, Braga beats Napoli by 2. I believe that they go through.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that there are more games in Matchweek 6 that actually have implications. There have been years where Matchweek 6 is just one of those that, almost like a consolation week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. The Braga Union Berlin one, that one was a head scratcher. Obviously, if Braga doesn't get the red card, I think they win.
Yeah,
that seemed to really mess up the flow of how they were doing. They regrouped in the second half, but first half it didn't feel like they really knew what to do after the red as far as positioning. So I don't know, but they dominated possession, I mean, you look at their shots, 18 shots, only 2 on target. So clearly they weren't really doing much with their possession or with their shots. So I don't know, but yeah, Union Berlin, hey, they got a point.
It's their second out of 18 matches, I believe it was. Second point out of 18 matches across all their competitions. Which is crazy,
because I look back, and they won their first 2 domestic league matches 4-1 each. And then since then, I don't think they've won.
No, they're currently in 17th there in Germany. I'm not. Do they have 20 as well in the Bundesliga? I'm not sure.
I think they have 18.
Only 18. Yeah, so second worst, and really you're just coasting off of your first 6 points. Yeah, then for the Real Madrid-Napoli match, I mean, Real Madrid goes down 1-0, comes back, gets another, and then Napoli comes back. And then it was a lot of press, not a lot happened, and then Real Madrid pulls through with just a fantastic cross by Jude Bellingham there to set up pause for that 84th minute, and then they get a consolation in the 90 plus 4. Well, a consolation, a cherry on top for 90 plus 4 to at least give us one correct on Wednesday. We both got that one correct because Real Madrid did win. You did get PSV though. You thought PSV would win, and you thought that Arsenal would win. So you got 3 on the second match day. I did not fare as well. Yeah, and then so for that, like I said, Braga and Napoli will be duking it out for second place in Group C. And then for Group D, here's another one that is, first isn't done and dusted because Real Sociedad and Inter are both on 11 points and drew each other in the first match. So they will be playing each other for first in the next. And right now, Real Sociedad is up on goal difference alone, 5-3. So it'll probably just play for the draw. Like this one. Oh my goodness. This Real Sociedad Salzburg match made me so angry. So boring. 0-0 and like nothing happened at all. Whereas the Benfica and Inter match was incredible.
Yeah, Benfica in the first half, Mario gets a hat trick in 34 minutes. Yeah. I'm thinking this might be 6-0 Benfica, and it probably ought to have been. They were just dominating the entire first half. Not necessarily in possession, but they just looked like the better side. Looked like the home crowd was getting them. And then
looked like we expected Benfica to look like the whole Champions League.
We are Inter Milan. We're actually better than this team. So it felt like Inter, similarly to Real Madrid in their match, like you could just kind of feel it. Goal after the other of just like, all right, they're creeping into points. They're going to get it. I was shocked they didn't end up winning 4-3. But, exciting. Really tale of two halves. Really.
Yeah, for sure. And then after the 84th minute red card, really, Inter didn't press as hard as I thought they would after to try to get the 3 points after the 84th minute red card. Whatever floats your boat there, Inter. Leave it up to the last match day. See if I care. But yeah, it was exciting. Like I said, there were a couple very exciting matches and a couple just dull matches, especially on Wednesday. In the end, brace yourself, okay? I only got one match correct on Wednesday. I went one. Ended up going 5-11 for this match day. So I did get one perfectly correct. The 1-1 PSG Newcastle. So, little mercies, I suppose. And then you got 6-10 yours. So you fared better by one pick.
Bringing it back.
They're slowly crawling your way back. As far as overall group picks, where are we on this? Let me go back up here. We both are going to get Bayern correct. And the rest we're still up in the air on. So we'll check in on how our predictions did for the group winners here going forward on the next match day once it's all settled. Actually, is what I will end up doing. Okay. Anything else before we go? Oh, hold on. There was something I wanted to talk about. Oh no, I can't remember now. That's what it was. And I don't know if this is for European soccer. I believe it's for European soccer. This thing about trying to implement some sort of penalty box mechanism going forward for orange cards.
The sin bin.
Yeah, the sin bin. Is that just
like a hockey penalty box?
Right.
And most people have been outspoken about it. I've heard more of it being in the Premier League as opposed to other leagues. But yeah, essentially, instead of someone getting sent off, a yellow is like a 10-minute, or it's like for a yellow, it's a 10-minute. Actually, no, I read that yellow is 10 minutes, a red card is 45, or the equivalent of a half. So they're no longer suspended. So if it's like a it was this thing where it depended on how serious it was.
Uh-huh.
So if it was like a double yellow that turned to red, it'd be a certain amount of time. But yeah, essentially, even if you get a red, the idea was you could still come back. Or if you got a yellow, there was a certain time. Anyways, most experts think that it would ruin the game.
Yeah, no.
Because then it's like teams would just park the bus for that 10 minutes.
Right.
And then their guy would come back on and be like, all right, we can play again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of, it'd be very strange.
Yeah, hockey works because there's space on the ice, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, you just park the bus. It seems like a terrible idea. It seems totally against the spirit of soccer, whatever that spirit is. But
whatever
yeah,
that spirit is.
Whatever that spirit is, it is definitely against that. Boy, yeah, that seems just like a bad idea. Anyway, we'll talk about it more if there's any traction. I don't know who wants this.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, I read that today, and someone, I think it was Paul Mearson, he mentioned that he would just cease to watch soccer entirely if they implemented sin bins.
Sin bins. All right. Well,
and I said, man, what a Catholic way to put it. What a very English way.
Yeah, Anglican way to put it. What an Anglican
very
way
Anglican
to put it.
way, that's right.
Yeah, Archbishop of Canterbury and whatnot. Anyway, while we're still watching soccer, I would suggest that you go ahead and keep on doing it. Why don't you go ahead? Until we are back here on Monday evening for our preview of the midweek EPL action, why don't you go ahead and watch that soccer? But first, grab your coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you on Monday evening.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to it. I'm not vamping until I get my list back up. Oh, maybe I am. Leahai!